Breaking the silence, empowering black women to speak their truth in the workplace. Welcome, everyone. I'm thrilled to be here today, sharing insights that have the power to transform workplaces and lives. These revelations come from an enlightening conversation with Rachel Caesar, a true champion for workplace equality and safety. Rachel's tireless efforts in empowering black women to speak up against workplace abuse are nothing short of revolutionary. Her dedication to reshaping our professional landscapes is not just inspiring, it's a beacon of hope in what can often feel like a sea of despair. Now, let's dive into a topic that's been swept under the rug for far too long: how black women can feel safe talking about workplace abuse. It's a conversation that's not just overdue, it's screaming to be had, and it has the potential to rewrite the narrative of professional life as we know it. Imagine, if you will, a world where every woman, regardless of her skin color, can walk into her workplace without a knot of dread in her stomach. A world where she doesn't have to steel herself against inappropriate comments, unwanted advances, or blatant discrimination. Sounds like a utopia, doesn't it? Well, for many black women, this isn't just a dream, it's a daily battle. Let's talk numbers for a moment, shall we? A groundbreaking study with a title that rolls off the tongue like a mouthful of marbles: Race, Threat, and Workplace Sexual Harassment, the Dynamics of Harassment in the U.S., 1,997 to 2,016 inches, dropped some truth bombs that should make us all sit up and take notice. Here's the kicker: black women are more likely to experience sexual harassment in the workplace than their white counterparts. Let that sink in for a moment. In a world where we pat ourselves on the back for progress, black women are still disproportionately targeted. It's like we're all running a race, but black women are starting miles behind with hurdles that others don't even see. But wait, there's more. Over the years, the overall number of reported incidents of sexual harassment decreased. Sounds good, right? Well, not so fast. While the rate for white women dropped by a whopping 70%. For African American women, it only dipped by 38%. It's like we're playing a game of workplace harassment, whack-a-mole, and black women are always the moles. Now, you might be wondering, why is this happening? Well, buckle up, because we're about to take a ride on the Uncomfortable Truth Express. The study found that workplace predators, and yes, we need to call them what they are, tend to target women they perceive as less powerful and less likely to file a complaint. In a society where systemic racism and sexism are as American as apple pie, guess who often falls into that category? You got it, black women. But let's not stop there. The Women's Leadership and Resource Center at the University of Illinois at Chicago decided to dig even deeper into this cesspool of workplace injustice. They found that black women face more barriers to reporting harassment than a salmon swimming upstream during mating season. There's the fear of retaliation, of course, but there's also the very real need to balance the benefits of reporting against potential financial difficulties. When you're already fighting against economic and educational disenfranchisement, the stakes of speaking up become higher than a giraffe's ear. And here's a statistic that should make your blood boil hotter than a summer sidewalk. Despite laws banning retaliation, 1 in every 3 women who report sexual harassment at the workplace face retaliation. 1 in 3. That's not just a number. That's your sister, your friend, your colleague. That's you. But wait, there's more. A study published in PubMed looked at low-income union workers in the greater Boston area. They found that 85% of the people they studied reported exposure to workplace abuse, sexual harassment, or racial discrimination. And guess who experienced the highest rates? You guessed it, black women and other racial and ethnic minorities. It's like a twisted game of workplace abuse bingo. And black women are hitting blackout every single time. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is depressing. Why are you telling us all this? Well, my friends, I'm telling you this because knowledge is power, and we need to understand the depth of the problem before we can start to solve it. We're not here just to talk about problems. We're here to talk about solutions. We're here to talk about empowerment. We're here to talk about change. So what can we do? How can we create a world where black women feel safe to speak up about workplace abuse? First and foremost, we need to create supportive environments. This isn't just about having an HR department or a harassment policy. It's about fostering a culture where black women's voices are heard, respected, and believed. It's about creating spaces where we can share our experiences without fear of retaliation or dismissal. But it's not just about the workplace. We need to address the systemic issues that make black women more vulnerable to harassment in the first place. We need to tackle the economic and educational disenfranchisement that leaves many black women feeling like they can't afford to speak up. We need to dismantle the anti-black, patriarchal, and capitalist systems that perpetuate these inequalities. And let me be clear, this isn't just a black women's issue. This is everyone's issue. Because when we create safer, more equitable workplaces for black women, we create better workplaces for everyone. It's like fixing the foundation of a house. Everyone benefits from a stable structure. So what does this look like in practice? It starts with education. We need to educate ourselves and others about the unique challenges that black women face in the workplace. And we need to learn to recognize the subtle forms of harassment and discrimination that often go unnoticed. It's like developing a sixth sense for injustice. Next, we need to implement policies that protect vulnerable groups and encourage reporting without fear of retaliation. This means creating clear, accessible reporting processes. It means ensuring that complaints are taken seriously and investigated thoroughly. And it means holding abusers accountable regardless of their position or power. No more sweeping things under the rug. It's time to lift up the rug and deal with the mess underneath. But policies alone aren't enough. We need to change the culture. We need to create environments where speaking up is encouraged, where solidarity is the norm, and where black women's experiences are validated and respected. This means being an ally. It means speaking up when you witness harassment or discrimination. It means believing and supporting black women when they share their experiences. It means using your privilege, whatever form that may take, to amplify black women's voices and advocate for change. And for the black women listening, I want you to know that your voice matters. Your experiences are valid. You deserve to feel safe and respected in your workplace. And you have the power to create change. I know it's not easy. I know the fear of retaliation is real. I know the burden of being the one to speak up can feel overwhelming. But remember, you're not alone. There are people and organizations out there ready to support you. And every time one of us speaks up, we make it a little easier for the next person to do the same. So I challenge you, all of you, to take action. If you're a manager or business owner, take a hard look at your workplace culture. Are you creating an environment where black women feel safe to speak up? Are your policies truly protecting the most vulnerable? If you're a colleague, ask yourself, how can I be a better ally? How can I use my voice to support and amplify the voices of black women in my workplace? And if you're a black woman who has experienced workplace abuse, know that you're not alone. Know that there are resources available to support you. And know that by speaking up, you're not just fighting for yourself, you're fighting for all of us. Because here's the truth: when black women rise, we all rise. When we create workplaces that are safe and equitable for black women, we create workplaces that are better for everyone. We create a world that's more just, more compassionate, and more empowering for all. So let's break the silence. Let's challenge the status quo. Let's create a world where no one, regardless of their race or gender, has to choose between their dignity and their paycheck. Remember the words of the great Audre Lorde: I am not free while any woman is unfree, even when her shackles are very different from my own. Let these words guide us as we work towards a future where every black woman feels safe, valued, and empowered in her workplace. The road ahead may be long, but together we can create change. Together we can build a world where workplace abuse is a thing of the past. Together we can ensure that every black woman's voice is heard, respected, and valued. So I leave you with this challenge. What will you do today to create a safer, more equitable workplace for black women? How will you use your voice, your influence, your power to break the silence and drive change? Will you be the one to speak up when you witness injustice? Will you be the one to create policies that protect the vulnerable? Will you be the one to believe and support black women when they share their experiences? The time for action is now. The power is in our hands. Let's use it wisely. Let's use it boldly. Let's use it to create the change we want to see in the world. Because every time we speak up, every time we challenge the status quo, every time we support a black woman in her fight against workplace abuse, we're not just changing one workplace, we're changing a world. Remember, your voice matters. Your experiences matter. And together, we can create a world where every black woman feels safe to speak her truth.
a world where workplace abuse is a relic of the past, where equality isn't just a buzzword, but a reality. So let's go out there and make some noise. Let's ruffle some feathers. Look, and let's break the silence so loudly that it echoes through every office, every boardroom, every workplace in this country. Because when black women are empowered, when they're safe, when they're respected, that's when we'll know we've truly made progress. The world is waiting for your voice. It's waiting for your courage. It's waiting for your action. So let's not keep it waiting any longer. Let's rise up, speak out, and create the change we want to see. Together, we can rewrite the story of workplace equality. Together, we can ensure that every black woman's voice is heard, respected, and valued. The future is ours to shape. So let's make it a future we can all be proud of. Thank you